Okay, welcome back to another episode of Strange Ways. I am Rob. That is Scott. I'm going to stop telling you what episode it is because I'm tired of forgetting as an old man to look because I can't
16 or
remember.
17.
16, 17? Yeah, okay. And here is the man to tell you what we're covering today.
All right. Greetings, ghouls and goblins. We're doing take a guess. Creatures of the Night Mate. One of the perfect album, unfortunately, from the band that, hell yeah. Oh, I got that cover too somewhere, man. That absolutely should have been there. What I would call, if you want to be technical about it, their Pyromania, their Back in Black, their fucking White Album. And unfortunately, it came at a time in their career when people had absolutely vanished, and most of them didn't know about the album until a few years later after they'd come out, lick it up, analyze, and then backtrack, got it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It was a resurgence for the band, and people just wasn't around to enjoy exactly when it happened. I was, because I never left. Now, I did not check out, but I did not buy the Elder when it first came out, when I seen it in there, because it just I didn't know what the hell it was, dude. It was a totally different album cover. I couldn't see them, and I seen Kiss music from the Elder, and I thought, well, I just don't know. So I didn't buy it, but I did wind up getting it later. So get off the Elder. We're on Creatures, and it's going to be good. I'm just curious to see if me and Rob match on any of these. We may at the bottom somewhere, I think.
Probably at the bottom. Well, maybe not the bottom, but.
And we will be close at the top. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll rank these songs our least favorite to favorite, and I'll go ahead and tell you from my perspective, and I'm pretty sure Rob's too, because there's nothing on this album that I don't love. Literally love. I love every damn song on here. Not just like. I love this whole album from front to back. So we're pretty much just putting them in a sequence of probably how we like them, maybe just a little bit better than the other. That's it. I mean, so there's really no criticism, in my opinion, on this album. All right.
No, not he said it perfectly. Absolutely not like Earnhardt, but love every song on this album. And everybody knows on here by now, this is my favorite Kiss album of all time. Pretty much has been since the day I bought it and sat and just was mesmerized by the cover as that thundering drum sound was just rocking my world. Never wavered from this, never got sick of this. So like you said, it's just degrees of love. Which ones do I go to the most, and that's just the way. Something's got to be, bottom of the list. Doesn't mean anything in this case.
And that's that. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better either. I mean, good for saying that, because I just can't remember everything, man. And then I'll try to, throw it in here and there, but sometimes my mind just don't pick up on every detail, because we've lived this album our whole lives, and all these albums, man. And I mean, it's funny how things change, but sometimes, in my opinion, the reason things do change is because I may start listening to this section of Kiss, or this album here and this middle album here, or non-makeup album more, and I'll be listening to those albums more at that time. And that's why I like it the best at that time. See, and that's what a lot of people can't figure out. They got so damn much, bro, and so many different degrees of band members and sounds. I mean, it's they got it all pretty much. So there you go.
And man. Time and place with. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I was just going to say, time and place with me always figures into music with the whole nostalgia thing. what was I doing in my life, how big a part of my life, big parts of my life was a certain album or a certain song. So that always comes in, and fair or unfair or a correct way of judging music or not. Um, Anything as far as my favorite, like I always say, people, why do you like non-makeup Kiss better? Because when I was experiencing life, obviously not as an adult, but as a teenager, it was non-makeup Kiss time. And for most people, once you start going out, hanging with friends, getting some freedom from the house and the parents and the neighborhood, things become a little bigger. And whatever's playing, the smells in the air, it could be anything that I associate. I'll smell something in the air and it'll take me right back to something when I was 13. I mean, and that's the way music is for me. And so non-makeup Kiss was during my hugely influential young rebellious teen years. So that's obviously Creatures. I was 10 years old, but still going to have more impact on a 10-year-old than Destroyer would have on me when I was 5, when I got that. So Creatures not only being my favorite sound, and that's all I'm going to give away because we got other podcast topics we're going to take, and I don't want to give away spoilers, but um, it's my favorite songs, and it's just my favorite time of being a Kiss fan because I was just getting old enough to get everything, whether it's the band, whether it's life, whatever. Going to my first concert ever was Creatures. I mean, so it's always going to be special to me, and nobody take any disrespect to any of these songs. Like Scott said, we love every one of them.
Soundtrack to our lives, guys. Okay. I don't remember who went first.
I don't either.
Last one, but
I think I do. I think I did.
Creatures. Oh, you think you did? You want me to start this thing off?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys, here we go now. Like I said, don't stone me or crucify me or nothing like that, dude. And I will say this. Some of these songs I might not have up in the top spots at this point in time because of overplay a lot. That has a lot to do with it too. So there you go. But I love them. So let's get on with it. I've been really banging this freaking album a lot here lately, man. Which I have been doing that since the damn thing came out, but really here a lot, man. It's been popping up just every day, man. Something, 3, 4 songs on this album I'm hearing. Maybe not the whole album because it's random, but it's popping up, and I love them all. So this is kind of tough, guys. So I said it was easy, but number
9.
9 songs. Number 9, Keep Me Coming. Now, I've always liked it since day one. I could say this about every song on here. The power, the production, the vocals from Gene and Paul, back up, Eric's drums, Vinny's leads, and whoever else's leads is different, guitarists played on this album, mainly Vinny. Perfection. I've got nothing bad to say about it. I love the song. It's just at this point in time, it's in the last place. That's all I can say, And there is no last place on this album, really. So.
Yeah, and when you're talking about production, and maybe it would have gotten old after a while, but to me, this is the perfect produced album out of any album, not just Kiss, out of any album I've ever heard. And what I mean when I say that is that big echoey drums, and I don't care if it's Vinny or whoever the bit players were on this album. When I say this is the greatest guitar sound, it's got nothing to do with the solos note for note. It's the tone they used on the guitar. It is just freaking, it could have been me or it could have been some guy who's never touched a guitar. and just hit a note, hit a high string on there, and it would have sounded awesome. There's just something about the tone of the guitar on this. All that being said, my number 9 is a victim a bit of overplay live, and that is War Machine. Great song, epic, demon-esque Gene song. And as cool as that intro is, what I think would have been cooler, Vinny, you'd seen that, I'm sure you all have, the Animalized Live Uncensored, when Eric puts that that, if they would have started with that big echoey drum on this production, oh my God.
I like
that would have been
love to
amazing.
heard that too, man. I never thought about that. You just now said that. And the only thing that I did not like about, of course, I was there, but I had to relive it through, watching the concert and all that stuff. They played it too fucking fast, man. Some songs you could do that with, dude. I mean, literally, maybe pick up a tempo a little bit, like you said, Firehouse, stuff like that. You can pull that off with, all right? Okay? But some songs, like I Love It Loud and stuff like it, you just can't do that because it destroys the whole rhythm and beat and vibe of the song. So never mind. I'll rant.
And ultimately they go through rehearsals, so it is Paul and Gene's final say. But like you said, there are stuff like Firehouse and Strutter and stuff that could use a little pickup in pace. Certain songs they don't, and a lot of that I'm gonna put on. And I know you love them, and everybody loves them, and I love them. I remember several interviews from Paul back in the day, talking about how Eric is kicking their ass and really forcing them to play harder and faster. And if you go back and listen to the shows with Eric, some of those Sydney shows from Unmasked, and I love them, but my God, Is That You is played at warp speed. And if you look at any of these shows live without makeup as well, when Eric Carr is the drummer, everything. Look at, if you go to that Animalize, always one of my favorite concerts of all time, not to be at in person, but I got to see a Kiss concert on a VHS tape and own it and play the hell out of it, that Live Uncensored.
Yeah.
Look at Lick It Up. I mean, Lick It Up is played at least 3 times as fast as Lick It Up, the studio album. Same with Love Gun. They were always in a mad rush with every song. And while it may be cool and impressive that Paul can keep up with those notes while playing that fast and singing that fast, it does take away from the essence of the song. You don't want to hear God of Thunder played at 3 times speed.
No,
and that's what they were doing with a lot of these songs. I mean, Lick It Up, to me, is a nice, hard, drive and steady tune. You hear that thing live, even today or up until the end here with Tommy in there, they were playing that song too fast. And there's a time and place for that. Some songs, like I said, Firehouse is the ultimate example that needs some speed enhancement, but a lot of that was a product of Eric Carr's playing style. But like I said, of course, Paul and Gene could say, hey, slow the hell down. But
yeah, and Gene, in Paul's book, Gene was pushing to do that too. And this was around the Crazy Nights, Hot in the Shade. Well, no, Hot in the Shade. They finally, Paul got it down, bro, like it's supposed to be. But through the Animalized Crazy Nights era, and Gene, I think he said equated it with excitement, But Paul said some of these songs were just that you lose the groove, man. If you cold, it's Cold Gin time. You just can't hire up Cold Gin like that and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, that's the whole thing. We will definitely be hitting live and studio. All right, man. I'm behind you. Number 8, War Machine. It's Gene perfection on this album. Paul for everybody's perfection, but Gene definitely got the MVP. Of course, Eric with the drum sound and everything. Well, Michael James Jackson, the guy that produced this album, and love the song. I do wish if they had planned on playing this thing every time at every show, that they would have slowed it down and literally put triggers on them drums. Whoever in the hell was playing them, it didn't matter. I didn't care at the point in time. At least try to make them sound close as you can
Bigger.
to that, because when you play stuff off of Creatures of the Night, you're going to have to do something, in my opinion, and I love hearing it regardless, but to capture something about that sound of the drums. You can get by with the guitars, okay? But I am expecting that thunder. There you go. But anyway, War Machine number 8, love it. Head front to back, always have, always will. It's just like he said, a little overplay. Hearing it so much, man, and still hear it about every day now. Still love the studio version. Bingo.
You know, you said that perfectly, and I've never really thought about that, or at least articulated it on a podcast. War Machine, I Still Love You, Creatures, right? The 3 somewhat staples, mainstays over the decades, live.
Yeah, I love
The
it
sound
loud.
was the sound was so special and so epic on this album. You're right. They should have been doing something to make a distinction that this song's from Creatures, other than Paul saying this song's from Creatures. You could have put a reverb on the drums. You could have put any kind of deep delay on something. There's so much with sound technology that you could have. The drums on this album, yeah, the when you play these songs live, the drums should be bigger. They should crack your fucking ribs. You should know, holy shit, what the hell is this? And they did a lot of things, or didn't do a lot of things that they could have to enhance a lot of their legacy. This is just one of them. I've always thought that their live productions audibly were lackluster for such a band with such a big sound, but yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, so my number 8 is, I believe, one of your favorites, is Killer. Man, this song will rip your face off.
Yeah.
Gene is on fire in this song, and this kind of fits my preference of Gene's voice. This pretty much this whole album and Lick It Up, where he's the angry Gene, not the deep grovelly demon Gene. And this song is an ultimate personification of that. Absolutely great song, great chorus. And like we are going to continue to probably say, and if we don't, we mean it. The guitar work on this album is just massive. It's just every solo one, even on I Still Love You, the solo will just melt you. I mean, it's just amazing stuff. And Michael James Jackson, everybody talks about Bob Ezrin. You give me Jackson 10 out of 10 times to produce my album.
Yes, sir. If he can bring that sound, I'll take him too. And
Yeah.
they had many producers I love, oh man, dude, just about every one of them from through that beginning. Hell, I love Carter and Wise. Like I love Carter and Wise.
Kramer. Yeah.
I mean, with the exception of the first album. Now, I love the first album, but to me, they got it right on Hotter Than Hell because they made Kiss a dark, heavier metal raw band with that production. And it's gritty, it's distorted, but yep, we'll be on Hotter Than Hell.
If they, I'm sure somebody owns the masters to all this, right? Somebody has to.
Yeah,
so instead of doing, this has always driven me nuts, and every band does it. The remaster. It's digitalized. Unless you're listening with headphones and are a music snob, you're not really going to notice much difference. What they should have done, especially with the first album, is go in and recut the whole thing. Not have them play it and sing it. Now, use what they have, but drastically change the sound of everything versus just, let's make it sound a little more crisp and clear. No. Change it. Really. When you say remaster, I don't think in my brain that isn't just, we picked up the high end a little bit, dropped the mids. No. That's not remastering. That's just, I can do that with my freaking equalizer, all right? go into the studio track by track and remix it. But
I agree.
We're not
I
Kiss.
agree. Remastered. To be honest with you, I'm one of the guys that never really was able to tell that much about remastered. Man, I just
Me
didn't.
either.
I thought they just done it just to sell CDs and albums, you know. But you may pick up something, but I couldn't tell a big difference. But anyway, 9, 8. It's me, right? Yeah, you
It's
just
you
went
to
with Killer.
7.
Okay. Yep. Next is you know, guys. I mean, you just got to put it somewhere, man. And it's one of my favorite of all time. Just right there, if not my favorite. I mean, it's close. I've got a lot of fucking power ballads that I love by different bands, but I still love you, man. At number 7, bro. I, I, it's perfect. It's just rip your soul out, man, with the power behind it, dude, and the vocals behind it, and just bleeding out of every pore, man, of just heartfelt, just destruction, man. You know, and it's perfect. It's perfect. I mean, nothing I'd change, and nothing I'd change about it. Period. I loved it when they played it live too, man. You know, I just that was a song that it seemed like they done right.
Yeah.
I don't remember them playing that one faster for some reason. I don't. I
No,
think because I
no.
always paid attention to detail, man.
You really couldn't, because Paul puts so much into every note in this song. If you were to speed that, he'd suffocate. He'd kill himself. You can't. You couldn't do that.
I think everybody's attention would be caught right then. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, a little bit of disgust that he had to put that on 7. You could see it on his face. And that's the way
Yeah.
I feel about this. Probably the most memorable, if not, it's tied with Unholy for first time listens and views, having a massive impact on me. I love it loud. It kills me to put it at 7, but it's the way it goes when you love everything.
Yeah.
I love everything about this. If I could recommend to any band from any genre, what kind of video should we make? Bright, vivid stage lights and the band, the end. It is so magical. One of the greatest videos I've ever seen by any band. Still, I just watched it like 3 times again today. It still stands up. Obviously acting in videos from the bit actors are always a little cheesy, but the stage performance, Scott's hit on this before, the K-I, just lighten up, just big as shit. I miss
Yeah.
that. That's a whole nother conversation about live experience versus whatever. But yeah, don't kid yourself. I love everything about this song, from the intro, from the fade out to the fade back in, the big chorus, the simple but magical Paul Stanley solo in this. Just a great song.
You do know who that guy is in the video, right?
Which, the dad or the kid?
The dad.
No, I didn't pay attention.
He was actually one of those guys that Bill Coyne brought in. You know, when they started getting big. Damn, what's his name? See, that pisses me off. He was actually one of the managers at the time.
Really?
Before they fired his ass. Yeah. 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 After they raped him and stuff. Yeah, that was one of them. But anyway,
Wow.
he didn't have to do much but sit there and look, you know, or whatever. Yeah. But hey, I love it loud, man. Nothing bad at all. It's perfect. All right, next in line, number 6. Now, this one right here, guys, is to me. Now, there's a few of them on here. He's done touched on one, which is Killer. This one is another one where I think I think this one might be the number one with Eric. It's pure power on the drums, and that's Danger. Holy shit. I mean, you're talking about a drum solo through the whole damn song, bro. I mean, it is absolutely just, that's all I can think about when I'm listening to this song. Is all I can feel is his damn drum. I mean, he's just beating the shit out of them drums, man. Non-stop, start to finish, man. Beautiful song, not beautiful, but beautiful. Gorgeous, perfect. It is fucking powerhouse metal Kiss, the heaviest album they ever done. I mean, as far as production and just the absolute fucking power they released on this album, guys. And anybody don't believe me or Rob, and you ain't never listened to this damn album, and you're a metal fan, a caliber of any kind, and you've always shit on Kiss, pull it out, turn it up, cocksuckers, and find out for yourself, because I'm not lying. If I'm dying, I'm dying. I'll apologize if you don't think it's powerful. More powerful than any of the bands you probably love production-wise. Now, I'm just telling you.
You know, and I,
Brother Danger, you can say something about it if you want to, or yeah.
Well, no, now that you said that, how heavy this album is, and it shouldn't, it's no secret to any Kiss fan, but yeah, these douche nozzles who have always made fun of Kiss, thinking there's some, butt rock band or something. First of all, you'd never listen to, 73 to 78 Kiss, if that's the case, and that's your opinion. But if you look, to me, the perfect equivalent, obviously not sound wise or production wise, but heavy in your fucking face, this is Kiss's version of Back in Black from AC/DC.
Yes.
I mean, just throw your fucking fist in the air, heavy ass rock. You can't get any heavier without being thrash than this and AC/DC's. To me, not a huge AC/DC fan, and I prefer Bon Scott, but Back in Black's one of the greatest fucking albums I've ever heard in my life. Just right. the very fucking definition of hard rock to heavy metal, that little transition window in there. And that's where Creatures is for me. It's almost the identical power is where I'm going with it. They sound different. They're produced different. I get it. But that heaviness to it that's what it reminds me of if you want to equate it to another band.
Yep. And around the same time period, too, see, because the early 80s, man, 81, 82, 83, that's another thing we'll get into. From 80, then we're talking about 80 bands and that whole genre through there, when all these bands are coming out and exploding and doing all this good stuff. My favorite is from 80 through about 85, 86, because we'll get into that. But I'm not going to get it.
Before it turned to hair metal and it was just metal. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so where did we leave off? Your number 6 was Danger?
Yep. Danger for me, number 6. Yep.
And my number 6 you've touched on already, and that is Keep Me Coming. Love this song. Hey, Kitty, what's happening, brother?
I'm Milo. Hey,
Hi,
buddy,
Milo.
that's a big one. He's a big one.
Yeah, Keep Me Coming, epic. What I really love about this song is the way they drop it down on that sweet little innocent, and then it comes right back up into the heavier stuff. Paul is screaming his ass off in this song. Just a great song. And again, the solos, man, the solos on this album are just, they speak for themselves.
Perfect. And that's all you can say. The power of the drums, the solos, the vocals. There's nothing to pick at. I mean, so there you go. All right, number 5, guys. And it is the title track for me, Creatures of the Night. Now, here we go. It's just, I know it's a lot of people's favorite on here, and good reason. Pick one. Hey, any of them. It's you know, you're not going to hear nothing from me, man. That's just the way it is with this album, and I've always loved this song just like the rest of them, guys. I got no problem with it. I love how it goes in with Eric. You know, I mean, just wow, you know, just fucking badass, bro. Paul singing his ass off, bro. Creatures of the fucking night, man. You know, representing, you know, blood sucking vampires with the glowing eyes, and just they're a horror metal band now, bro. I mean, they just took it to another level. And that's why I could just squeeze their damn neck. If I could have just got a hold of Paul Stanley and say, man, take a Xanax. Don't panic. They don't know this album's as good yet, man. Let's give it the makeup just a little more time, just a little more time. We can change if it don't work, but just a little more time. Let's don't do it right here. Gene, where's your balls, bro? You didn't want to do it, man, anyway, because look at Gene on the Lick It Up videos. You think he's in the damn boots. And, oh, my God. We're going to get to that anyway. We got to do videos. But, hey, man, Creatures of the fucking night, man. Great. Just great to the bone, guys. Hey, it's either been my favorite or down there lower or in the middle. It actually got a little higher for me this time because I hadn't really heard this song pop up a lot here lately, but it does, you know, get its time with me. Everything on this album does. So,
okay. My number 5, again, you have touched on, and it is without a doubt, I've been on record saying this on this podcast and to anybody who will listen to me for years. If it wasn't the very first power ballad, it was the very first power ballad that brought power ballads to the public's attention, and that is I Still Love You. This is the very definition of a power ballad. Unlike most of that hair metal stuff, where just because it's, you know, a guy singing high pitched or something, that's not a power ballad. A power ballad is got that big in your face, you know, transition from calm to just powerful, not fast, powerful. The vocals have to be big, emotional, heartfelt. Everything is in this song. The solo is one of my favorite solos I've ever heard in any ballad ever. And I love this on MTV Unplugged. I love it on anything I could ever hear it on, no matter what rendition he does. But the studio album is fucking magic. There's almost an echo to his singing in the verses. You can feel the emotion. You can feel the torture and pain when that drums start breaking your chest open during the build up to the chorus. Epic. And I'm not a ballad guy.
Yeah, and this is about the time that he was having trouble with Donna Dixon, right? This is when he and her broke up because she was with old Dan Aykroyd, you know.
Yeah. Can you imagine going from Paul fucking Stanley to roly poly Dan Aykroyd? Where the fuck? What drugs was she on?
Hey, man, you know, and that's what Paul, and you know, just think about it though, you know, I mean, Paul, he always said, you know, yeah, the Star Child could do that, or he could tell him, you know, hey, if you want me to be like this, I can be like this, or I'm really not that kind of guy, you know, that you're seeing on stage and all that. But you know, they were living two separate lives with and without the makeup, man, and of course they're perceived, you know, as they're fucking crazy, wild rock party animals, man. And I'm sure that a lot of the people they were involved with, you know, with the exception of Anson Peter, probably thought, you know, this is going to be a nonstop party, man, all the time, just like I did as a kid, man. And I didn't know shit about them, you know, just what I seen, what I heard. So, hey, man, it's a trip, man. Behind closed doors, you just don't know, man.
I can't even believe you brought that up, man. I can't imagine the massive fucking mind fuck he went through to lose out to Dan Aykroyd. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, the
Yeah.
guy could sleep with any woman on the planet, and
And
this
he takes
chick
my damn
prefers Dan Aykroyd. Not only
why
is
he
he a homely, chubby guy, fucker's never even been funny. He's always ridden the coattails of other people who are funny.
oh
What an ego hit, man.
yeah.
Wow.
I've found him funny in some things, but you're right, I've never found him that. I mean, as far as like just making me break down, but he was actually filming Dr. Detroit at the time. And you know, he was like a nerd in that, man, too. You know, I mean, you've seen the
Well,
movie,
he
I'm
is a
sure.
nerd. He's a nerd in
Yeah,
Ghostbusters. He was the nerdy, I mean, he's always been that dork. I mean, Ghostbusters especially. I mean, that's Dan Aykroyd. I've seen real
but you
life
do
interviews
know,
of him where he really takes himself so seriously, like he's such a big fucking deal. And I'm thinking, dude, everything you've ever done has been because of somebody bigger. I
yep,
just
John
whatever.
Belushi, you know, I mean, and at
Yeah.
that point in time, that's who he was, right after that's who he was, you know, mingling with, of course, the Blues Brothers and everything. And, but Dan was a party man. He was he was in there, man.
Oh yeah.
Peter tells
And
him,
so was
yeah,
she. And so was she, and that was probably part of the problem, because she was a
see,
fucking junkie. She was a or a coke hound.
see, and there you go. And when you find out Paul's
And
really this way, then there you go, man.
yep,
It's crazy. Yeah, we'll get into that too, guys, because we got books, we got all kind of shit to go through.
yeah.
Um, okay, number 4 for me, guys, and a song that hey, here we go, man. It's hell, it's all Gene here now, boys. 4 and up for me is all Gene, and and it ain't got nothing to do with me not liking the rest. Let me repeat myself. Here we go, guys. It's all great. Saint and Sinner. It's absolutely just one of those songs, man, that you can just freaking sing along to. And Gene, his voice, like you said on this album, man, is just absolutely freaking. My favorite Gene voice is on this album with because he's using his Dr. Love voice. He's not using his God of Thunder or almost human voice. He's using that sweet pain voice and that Dr. Love, man, and that two-timer and stuff like that I love by him. The she voice is, of course, it's more mature and the production's, you know, way better at the time too. So that's the voice. That's my favorite voice that Gene uses. The angry voice, which is what Rob
Yes.
calls it, the angry voice. And it is. I love the Beatle voice. I love the God of Thunder voice,
Yes.
but the demon voice. But that one, he sings his music to perfection when he uses that voice right there. So, yeah,
And that was your number 4?
that was my number 4. Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a match. My number 4 is Saint and Sinner.
All
I
right.
absolutely love this song. This one is always been a go-to for me. I love the chorus. It sticks in my head all day afterwards. The deuces are wild.
Yeah.
And then it gets into that kiss my heart by, and he starts bringing it.
Yeah.
This song is just masterfully written and performed. Amazing.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we hit one, guys. We've been close on a couple, but we hit that one. I was wondering about that. We may hit we may hit one more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah, and it is my next one. It is Rock and Roll Hell at number 3. And it's hand in hand to me with saying I love the hell out of this song, dude. Talking about the guy, man, with the guitar and, you know, just, oh, man, dude, get me out of this rock and roll hell. How can I get away? Just, you know, and I'm thinking at first, why are you wanting to get away? But the song is fucking wicked, man. It's just, damn, man. You know, whoever, you know, I know Brian Adams, God love him, helped write some of these songs and other people, man, and God love them, dude, because the songwriting at this point in time, and don't get me wrong, I love probably the cream of the crop Kiss songs. You know, their whole albums would be missing a song or here and there to be perfection like this. And with them just writing, you know, the band just writing the songs, man, that's when they were really to my true form. But this right here is like another level of writing, you know, especially when you got outside people coming in. They're really putting songs together. It's not just about effects, you know, and I love all that. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, sometimes and most of the time I'm not really a lyric guy, but when you can't avoid the lyrics, that's when I'm a lyric guy. But this right here is just true perfection. Rock and roll, supreme writing, sound, look, stage, everything, man. It sucks that this right here was really a pinnacle and could have been for them if they hadn't have stumbled with their, I'm going to say, 2 albums and a song beforehand. And you can maybe count a couple solo albums, but damn, man, it just, at this point in time, dude, if they would have come out with this, damn it, man. Took a break after a live 2 and come out with this about 2 years later, man, holy shit. Everybody would have been on board. They would have known, and the whole world would have been on board. I can go on and on.
If they would have done that and foregoed the solos and did it like a 2-year break, like you said, this might have been regarded as the biggest hard rock album of all time.
It would have been chaos. Elvis double time, bro. It just
because they were on top of the world following Alive 2. And you come out with something that makes you even heavier and louder and scarier. Oh my, yeah, man. Oh well.
And maybe things would have been different. I mean, look, I'm not saying that Peter or Ace might not have been there, but maybe they could have got through. Maybe things would have worked out in a couple years' time of understanding and seeing, hey, you know, maybe they could have got them some help, whatever. Anyway, I ain't gonna get into that because we got to get into that. Hey, it's just
and Ace. This album though needs that lead guitar style that it has. And I don't know if the bends and the typical freely playing would fit these songs as far as solos go. We'll never know. But anyway.
No, we'll never know. And maybe he would have took some lessons, man. Maybe he would have grown and got out of the partying all the time. Maybe Peter to quit bitching and snorting coke for a little while, man. They would have had to really amp them drums up for him to get that power, you know.
Yeah.
So, but we just don't know. I love it how it is, regardless. Yep. So there you go.
All right. So we almost hit on 2, but we did hit on the 1 because my number 3 is Danger, which you've already mentioned. This is probably the biggest vocals on the album from Paul.
And
I especially love the secondary part of the chorus, of the post-chorus, at the very last or second to last chorus on the album. He sings that with the lead guitar mimicking him. It's just, I wish they had done it all the way through. That ending part, I can rewind that last part forever and never get sick of it. Paul is just on fire on this song. It's huge. It's fast. I love it when Paul plays the angry guy. He does it so well. And there you have it. That's my number 3. Okay. I can't. It's to the point now when one has talked about it, we're pretty much spitting out how the other feels. So we're just doubling up.
And another thing, listen to this song, metalheads. If you don't want to listen to the whole album, put Danger on. Just listen to the power that's hitting you ass in the face, bro. I can speak no more. That's it. You do it or don't, but I'm telling you, you're going to miss out if you don't. My number 2 is, you done touched on it. And of course, you done touched on both of them, but a song that I hear people, well, I can understand a little bit live, but because they play it just about every time, but I'm telling you, this version right here, this video, everything about this song, how they do it on here and on the video is absolutely what hit me so hard, because when I thought I had lost Kiss from the Elder, because I didn't turn my back on them, but I didn't jump off that cliff because I didn't know what to expect. At the time, I was unmasked all to hell, but Unmasked just didn't have the demon, the sound, the power that the past albums had for me, the impact. This video, this song, this album, it hit me like a ton of fucking bricks, man. And I thought, thank God they're back, and I've never forgot that, just like you never forgot seeing this video for the first time. And it burned into my damn memory, bro. I couldn't wait for it to come back on MTV again, which you never knew when you might see it again. But I love it loud, bro. It is absolutely, it's perfect, just like the rest of them. Yeah. There you go, man.
That video, that song, and this album was a massive redemption for me at 10 years old to myself. Although I always, as a young kid, loved everything Kiss ever did. And I still love the stuff today, Dynasty, Unmasked, and The Elder.
Yeah.
But there was some proud moment, even at 10 years old, like, oh, okay, this is the badass band that I discovered when I was 5 years old. I can't even imagine the people who were, say, 10 years older than me, and they had to be going to high school or junior high with Dynasty and Unmasked, and the ridicule they must have been getting, and then to have this album come out as a big FU to those fans who didn't believe. Yeah.
Damn right, bro. Kind of going, I cruising around the parking lot, man, parking for school, man, having that shit cranked up wide ass open, dude. Hey, I wasn't but 12 when this come out, so I was just a couple years older. That's it, man. So hey, there you go, bro.
All right, my number 2 you just hit on recently, and that is my favorite Gene song on this album, Rock and Roll Hell. My God, the bass line when he's doing the verse, doom, 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 doom.
Yeah.
It is so massive, man. If you've got a thundering system and you've never heard this album, put that track on first and listen to that bass and feel that bass rattle your rib cage, and you turn it up to 11. It's freaking amazing. He's so angry in this song, at least the tone of his voice. Like Scott, I'm not a big lyric guy, so I really don't pay much attention. I can sing every word and know every word as it's going, but if you tell me to recite the lyrics right now, I'd have no fucking clue. It's just one of those, what do they call those, memory...
Yeah, it just burns into your memory, man.
Yeah, it's sense memory. Sense memory. That's what I was looking for. Sense memory. I don't know the words now other than the chorus, but as soon as the song starts, I know every single word. So I have a hard time comprehending on the fly anyway, so that's why I've never paid. That's guilty. That's probably a big reason why I don't pay attention to lyrics, is because if I want to understand something, I need to really sit down and just read it and concentrate. Other than that, it's just words. But this song is just, Scott nailed it all already. It's just amazing. I just wanted to add that about that wicked bass line during the verses. Wow.
Unbelievable. And G-Man. Oh, damn it. You got to, I don't know if I've got it yet, but it got me right there, man. I know you got it. I was cracking up when I was watching one of them, but I didn't catch it when you done that, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, Gene is the demon on this whole album, bro. I mean, even though he's not singing the God of Thunder voice, But any of these songs that he's doing could be the Demon songs. That's why it's
Can
so
you
good, man.
imagine a video for Rock and Roll Hell?
Oh, dude, I would have loved to seen videos for all of this, but I know, it's not impossible, but they could have picked anything,
You're
and I'm
absolutely
glad they
right.
did Love It Loud.
And I know, like you said, it's not the God of Thunder voice, but he
Yeah,
is the evil, scary demon. His whole essence on this album vocally, and even his bass playing, everything's just wicked on this album from Gene. This and Lick It Up is where Gene absolutely just stole the fucking show and shines
and
on how massive of a presence he can be.
yes, and on this, I noticed on this video, and when this came out, Gene had another level of stalking the stage too, man. I mean, it was amped up. His movements, his tongue wagging different, man. His facial movement. It was like he was possessed, dude. That's what really, yeah, man. Gene just unbelievable on this album. Okay, guys, if y'all been keeping up, and this one almost lost the first place spot to my number 2, but it still edged it out. This has been my favorite for a while, and it's just I guess maybe it's a little bit of a danger tempo with Gene singing, the speed and the power and the vocals, and she's a freaking killer, bro. A stone cold killer, man. And lead freaking everything, man. Just like this whole album is absolutely punishing, bro. I mean, War Machine, freaking Saint and Sinner, Rock and Roll Hell, I Love It Loud, Killer, all Gene Demon just esque songs, man, with his prowling on the stage and his freaking bass just cracking your freaking ribs, his vocals to perfection. And Paul perfect too, Eric perfect too, leads, whoever all of them are, and Vinny perfect too. And I, just that's it. Perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
All of it, man.
And my number one has been number one since the minute I dropped the needle on the album for the first time. The most thunderous drum.
Gotcha.
I love Do You Love Me, but this is the most memorable, epic drum intro to me that Kiss has ever had, especially given the production of those big, echoey drums, and it is Creatures of the Night. Paul being angry Paul again. During the choruses, I love that almost demonic monks, oh, I mean, it's just, you got a Cold Gin-esque type riff leading into that den, and then it leads into the actual solo. It's got so many different caveats in this song, and they all meld together perfectly. And as far as live goes, they have always fucking nailed this song. You don't believe me? Listen to Alive 3. This is a big song. They've always played it big. It's always been epic, and it will always be my favorite song on this album.
Oh, okay, man. That's cool. Hey, nothing wrong with you. Like I said, man, everybody, days you pick one. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's nothing bad to say or tell somebody, oh, man, you're crazy as hell, or what's wrong with you. No, there's not. There's nothing. And one thing I did want Paul to do when I heard him play this live, I've heard him play it a few times actually, is I wanted him to do how he does in the chorus, Creatures of the Night, he does that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that a lot of times, or I can't remember him doing it at all, I think. But he still nails it, man, regardless, even though they do leave.
The thing I liked about it is they've never changed the tempo live that I've ever heard. It's always been right there in that mid-tempo pocket, never rushed, so it never stepped on the fact that this is a dark song, not a hyper song.
Now, double check Alive 3, because when they opened up with this, they did pick up the tempo a little bit in this on Alive 3. You'll be able to tell. Just pay attention. Not a lot, but a little bit, man. You know, because Eric was like, I mean, they went into this really faster than it is on here, man. Like I said, double check it. I don't know how long you've listened to it.
I also want to go. Well, I always loved that version because Eric adds that double bass of his.
Yeah.
But I need to go back and listen to that Animalized concert again and see if Eric Carr sped this up. I don't see. I mean, I love the Alive 3 version. I guess if it is like you said, and I'm not going to doubt you because you listen to stuff more frequently than I do, it wasn't enough to stand out or ruin it.
The only thing, no, it didn't ruin it. The only thing it did, though, if you pay attention, is it did rush Paul singing it a little bit, but they done a perfect job. I mean, but you could tell when you listen to it, he's hitting it, but he's being rushed a little bit, you know, on hitting everything and getting everything in. You know, Preachers is a little bit, that song, I mean, singing it like it is, I can imagine how tough that is, but hot damn, picking it up any man.
Yeah.
You know, that's when I would have been, you know, Paul, I mean, definitely, hey guys, hey, you know, to do this thing right, man, we've got to keep that tempo with certain songs. We cannot. They're heavy and fast enough. Don't want to, you know, and I'm not saying they done it intentional. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the band. I don't know. You know, a lot of times, you know, the drums is, you got to keep up with the drums, especially if they start the damn song, bro. So you can't just stop and say, hey, whoa, time out. You know, that just don't work that way. That's the studio you can, but live you can't pull that shit in front of thousands of fucking people, man. But yeah, as far as playing it perfect and everything, they done an excellent job on the song. It's just a little bit more than what it is on the studio album. Just a little bit more, a little bit pressured. And I just wonder, think about this. I wonder if they've done that. Paul, I know, is putting it on Gene, and Eric's getting a little fast or whatever, but I wonder if that is a result of Paul's stage raps, man. You know, and they're rushing these songs because, you know, damn, dude, I'm just saying, hey, you got so much time on stage, you know. Yeah, that's just something to think about right there.
I've never been a fan, and Paul's one of the best at stage raps, yet he's one of the cheesiest at stage raps. Just depends.
The making out with itself.
I've just never been a big fan of that from any band, and I know it's part of being a front man to keep the crowd, keeping the crowd involved. But you don't need it between every fucking song. There's nothing I like better when bands just go, say, 3 songs in a row without saying a fucking word. One just leads into the next to the next.
Yeah. And then they're standing there after that third song with a light on them. They're sitting there going, fuck yeah, man. I mean, they just blew your fucking head off. And come in there and say, hey, what's going on, fucking Charlotte or St. Louis or Miami or whatever, man. What the fuck's up, man? You know, don't just, you know, that baby had the longest fucking tongue I ever seen in my life. I mean, come on, what the fuck, dude, are you talking about?
You're not a fucking stand-up comedian, man. These metalheads didn't come here to laugh. They came here to bang their fucking heads. So, I mean, like I said, he's great at it, and then he's bad at it at the same fucking time. Still, my opinion, the greatest frontman I've ever seen, but like anything, there's overdoing shit.
Yep. And Peter,
And
he
if I don't
bragged
hear
like
a,
hell on him.
yeah, and he's not the last one or the only one. And if I never hear a fucking front man again split the crowd for fucking cheer fucking contests, it'll be too fucking soon. I can't fucking stand that. I don't give a shit what band member needs a fucking break. There are other ways to kill time than that stupidity.
Yes. When the damn song goes off and the lights go off, keep them off for a little bit. Find out what's going on. Hell, you can't see nothing back there, man. Hey,
No.
Okay, everybody's getting amped up. Here we go. So look, I understand. I know. And it just, what was it I was going to say? Oh, yeah, remember the crowd meter? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Y'all got to,
Yes.
I'm like, motherfucker, dude. This is loud as it's getting, man. Everybody in here is raising hell. It's busting my ears, and that thing keeps going up. It's like, man, get the fuck out of here, dude. Anybody gonna believe that shit, man? Somebody, man. Anyway, there you go. Okay.
And as
Yeah.
usual, we get off on several tangents instead of what we're talking about.
I
That's
know,
just the
guys.
way we
I'm
do.
sorry, guys. But
Oh,
hey, that's creatures, bro.
I am so fucking glad I met you, man, because
Hey,
you are
you too,
just
man.
like me. I mean, shit, on my reaction channel, people will bitch in the comments all the time, right? I'll be reacting to a song, and then afterwards, I'll put my thoughts together about the song, and one thing I say will spark something in my head and something completely different, and I'll just start fucking ranting on something that has nothing to do with it.
Memories, man. It just takes you one step this way. You start talking about production. Well, this album, and then you're fucking in hotter than hell, and you're doing that damn hot in the shade. It's like, how in the fuck did we get here, man? And that's spontaneity, man. It just happens, brother. It's like,
Yeah.
we've lived this
Who the
shit,
fuck?
man, and we
I
get.
don't want a goddamn script. Fuck that. That's not real.
No, I don't. I never used one either in the past, dude.
No.
I might have made my list or something like that, but
Yeah,
hell, you got to
a
do
couple
that.
notes. Yeah, I'll jot a couple notes. Hey, make sure you talk about this, talk about that. But wherever
Yeah, man.
my big mouth takes me is where I end up, and that's just the way it is.
Okay. Hey, and that's it, man. That's it. And somebody and grab me if I get too far out there. A lot of times I'll get myself. I'll be like, get back to what we're doing. So yeah, man. Hey, just hey
Well,
guys.
for me the big thing is I have to pull back because I'm about to start talking about shit that's going to be a different video, and I don't want to give shit away.
Yeah, me too. And I do it all the time. And I'll get on something to piss me off. And this is nothing but positivity on this one. Guys,
Yes,
there's no bitching,
absolutely.
no moaning, nothing to pick at, dude. We could sit here and say woulda, coulda, shoulda happened at this time, but when they done this, bro, it ignited my flame and it ain't went out since. It dimmed at one time, but it never went out. I mean,
Absolutely.
but this right here set me aflame right there, bro. It was all in, and I was one of the ones that got it not long after it come out because when I seen my uncle's album cover and we dropped the needle on it at his house, man, when it big, he used to update his stereo all the time in big 70 stereos with amplifier fucking speakers back in the day, and we would crank this and everything he had, man, up, dude. It
Absolutely.
just fucking rocked my world, man. And I had to have my own copy. And, well, my mom, of course, got it for me, or I done my chores and used my allowance to get it. There you go.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Awesome album, awesome episode. And
yeah.
until next time, thanks for watching.